Hey everyone, we are going to do a morning movement practice today. It's designed to get your heart pumping, get your lymphatic system wakened up for the morning, and we'll do some interesting, not quite exercise movements, tapping, massaging, a lot of mobility work, rolling out wrists, shoulders, ankles. As always, take what you like, leave what you don't. There are some more vigorous practices you might want to tone down a bit, and some more soothing practices that if you're looking for a bit more energy, you might want to pep up a bit. I have two chairs here today. We'll be doing some work in butterfly pose, and often the easiest way to get into it is just by using a second chair to place our feet on. If you're more comfortable doing this practice on the floor, standing, whatever it might be, adapt it as you need for your needs. As always, you are the boss of yourself, and only you know how you feel and what's right from day to day. So let's get started with our meditation. We can plant our feet solid on the earth, and let's do the same thing with hands. Planting hands solid on our knees or whatever is right beneath your hands. Maybe the chair or the floor works best. Let's press into the earth beneath us, feeling that support, maybe doing a little marching press, right and left, side to side, and then pressing both feet evenly to help us sit taller. Reaching spine long. And let's leave our awareness on our feet, so we're wiggling toes, lifting toes and dropping them. We can lift heels and drop heels. We can try to lift just the big toe, pressing down all the other toes. Or we can press down just the big toe and lift all the other toes. Well, let's be aware of all the sensations in the feet. Temperature, texture, what it feels like to have the earth beneath us. Whether you're wearing socks or shoes, or whether we have bare feet on the floor today. And let's let the feet come into stillness, still grounding down so we can have a little press into the earth to help us stay tall. And let's bring our awareness up, ankles, calves, knees, thigh and seat, noticing sensation in the lower body. Bringing our awareness up through the rest of the body, upper body, head, neck, face. Noting any areas that you'd really like to take care of today, anything that needs a particularly gentle touch. Using this time as a reminder to yourself, of course, take care of your body, whatever that means today. And now let's bring our awareness to breath, feeling the expansion of breath through the front of the body, belly, chest, collarbones. Maybe aware of the breath in the throat and nose. And let's begin to deepen the breath here. Breath drops deep into the belly, belly expands, sides of the waist expand, ribs, chest, right to the top. And let's continue that deep breath, noticing the sides of the body, sides of the ribs, pressing out into the underarms. Noticing movements of shoulder as well. Deep, full breath, bringing awareness to the back. Feeling the movement of breath, the low back, mid back, upper back, and again our shoulder blades. So I'll call this our three-dimensional breath. Top to bottom, front to back, side to side, moving outward in all directions. We can imagine that we are drawing energy into the body with each inhale. Life-giving breath, giving us energy to greet the day. Of course, we could always just stay here, enjoying the movement of breath. But if we're ready for larger movements, eyes open or closed, we begin to rub the hands together. Feeling energy between the palms of the hands. If it is hot and sticky where you are, like it is with me, careful not to build too much heat. Maybe noticing a clamminess between the palms. Stirring up energy in the body. And let's begin to massage the hands. So like we are washing the back of our hands, let's draw up, getting into arm and wrist a bit, one side at a time. So sometimes we might have cranky fingers, cranky knuckle joints. We can relax the fingers here actually. Let the pull come more from the arm, so we can kind of let the hand hang limp and pull up with the strength in the arm, right? It's kind of like we're doing a bicep curl, but with our hand can be relaxed. And this is a nice one that can be done with a scented oil. Feels, very luxurious, a treat for ourselves first thing in the morning. And we can continue with this if it feels good. And you may even like to come back to this as we get into more vigorous arm movements as a gentler option. And let's flip elbow open and we'll sweep up in the inside of the arm. We can apply a fair amount of pressure from the heel of the hand down into the elbow, drawing up. Fast or slow, following the natural rhythms of your body. So no need to fight it. If you're having a particularly groggy morning, you can move slowly. And if you're pumped and ready to go, okay, we can work with that energy too. All right, if you love the arm sweep, keep going with it. Otherwise, let's work with our hands. So we'll do a hand massage, pulling down one finger at a time. It might feel good to shake off the hand at the end of each finger. And then let's massage in between thumb and first finger, this nice fleshy area. It can get really tight, especially if you've been spending time on tech, typing or texting. This is actually an acupressure point for grief. So there may be something that you are grieving right now, and just let those feelings exist, acknowledging that that is all part of the process of loss. No need to push it away or make it go away. Let the feelings just move and pass through us. Some days it's easier than others, right? Well, let's switch hands. And if you do find that any of these exercises are particularly helpful for you, of course, spend more time on the ones that you like. So maybe right hand really needs some help and not the left. Spend more time on the right and not the left. And of course, you're at home, right? I have no idea what you're doing. I am not going to take it personally if you skip any of the exercises. Alrighty, let's give those hands a little shake again. We'll come into our shoulders. Let's roll the shoulders. Might feel good to inhale on the way up and exhale on the way down. Noticing the range of motion, maybe noticing any crunching. Again, we work with what we have. Maybe we feel we've been carrying the weight of the world on our shoulders. Let some of that weight come up. Let a real buoyancy come into the shoulders on the inhale. Feeling lifted by the breath. Alrighty, last one here, and then option to make it bigger. So the muscles of our shoulders are still going to work to pull. We can still have our hands pretty relaxed, but if it feels good, we can lift from the elbows as well, and then release. Of course, careful not to whack your funny bone on whatever chair you're sitting in. Often a chair with no arms can be better for this kind of practice. Maybe again, envisioning that we are drawing life-giving energy, spirit, a feeling of aliveness in with each breath. And as we exhale, we practice letting things go. All right, let's do 2 more here, however fast you're going. And maybe some other movement comes into hands, arms, neck, shoulders while we're here. And then we're going to use our chair. So we'll do some rolling movements with our chair to help us out. So we can pull our chair in close enough. We might need a friend or some other things to step onto, taking care of back and hips today. But let's use our chair to support our legs. And those of you who know me know we only have wheelie chairs in this house. I would actually not really recommend a wheelie chair to sit in. It's not the safest or most stable surface, but sometimes it can help for the chair that we put our feet on, because then we can adjust it more easily. So let's go ahead and we'll get both our feet up here. And we can come into a modified butterfly position. Modified meaning that we have the chair to help us out, and it might even be a little further away than a more traditional butterfly that often pulls the heels right in to meet the thigh. So a more open butterfly. And we'll start to sweep up the legs. So we're getting a little bit of massage in the legs, but we're also getting a nice fluid stretch, right? So a dynamic stretch moving in and out of this butterfly position. We get to practice our good body mechanics as well. So hinging forward with a neutral spine, using our core muscles, meaning front, back, and sides of our core. Our back muscles, our abdominal muscles are working. Another thing that might from one day to the next really change. Maybe today we're feeling raring to go. We're doing a vigorous, large range of motion. Maybe that is not the energy you have today. And we're doing a really small movement. No matter what it is, we are nourishing the body with appropriate movement. And sometimes that means stillness. So option as well to come forward, not coming in and out of the pose, just holding it, but we're still able to give our legs this wonderful massage. If you're lucky, maybe someone at home will give you this kind of massage as well sometime. Just sweeping up the leg can be a great one for any kind of swelling. Getting rid of excess fluid in the legs, bringing it back to the core of the body so that it can be flushed away. So you may find that after doing this type of movement, you have to use the bathroom a couple extra times. That is within the realm of normal, I promise. It might feel good the same way we did our hands to sweep up the feet. We can get our fingers in between our toes and pull up. So a real benefit to doing this barefoot is that we can get into those feet. Socks, that's okay too. And then of course, if we do have shoes on, working with whatever space is available to the touch. So I can still get at the top of my feet. Even though I have these very light shoes on, I can still get into my arches. I can take my thumbs and do nice circular movements, massaging the instep of the foot. And bit by bit, the longer we're here, maybe we're noticing, oh, our hips open up. We want to do a little adjustment, lift and lower, or it's more comfortable to come further forward. If at any point you feel like you've had enough, of course we can back off and come higher up, smaller range of motion. And we can go back and forth, alternating between working on the feet, sweeping up the legs, maybe doing one leg at a time so we can wrap the hands all the way around. We can do them both together, or we can alternate side to side, getting some side bending going in the body as well. All right, so make it your own. If it feels good, if it feels soothing and energizing, perfect. And we're in a good place. If this is the best thing you've done yet today, feel free to keep going. Otherwise, I'll give us the option to roll out the ankles, all right? So we can use one leg to support the other, crossing ankle over shin, or we might even come high enough up to cross ankle over thigh, and we're just gonna roll out the ankle here. Again, we have options. Some like to do this passively, so the foot relaxes and the hand does all the work to circle. We can interlace fingers between our toes and give it more of a toe stretch as well. Or we can make it more muscular and let the foot do the work. That's especially a nice one if we have cranky arthritis in our knuckles or any kind of swelling in the hands. Sometimes from the heat, this happens. Let's make sure we go both directions. We can wiggle the toes. We can take the hand and use it to move the toes as well. That's another option there. Giving them a stretch one way and then the other. Maybe having popping and cracking as we loosen up and say good morning to our bodies. We can point and flex. And we're ready to take it on to the other side. All right, so we'll use strength to switch legs rather than flopping our bodies around. We might use the chair for support, use our hands for support. And maybe it's a good time to reset our posture, reset our breath, and then we get into our second ankle. So we're ready to circle. You decide, muscular or passive. We can thread our fingers through our toes to separate the toes. And we can use the arm and the hand to do all the work, drawing big circles. One direction and the other. Pointing and flexing. We can also use our hand to point and flex the toes, not the ankle, so that our entire foundation for our body, right? This is our ground level to when we're standing. Everything is getting lubricated, ready for the day, loosened up. If we tend to wear really tight shoes or even really supportive shoes, things can get tightened up, and it's really helpful to loosen them up. And plus, generally it just feels good, right? Maybe we're doing a little massage again in here while we go. All right, let's release this. Again, we can use our strength to let the legs go. We'll walk down off the chair however we need to. We're done with the chair for now, so we can push it away. And we'll do a bit more vigorous movement as promised. So again, we'll roll our shoulders. And let's do one at a time. So I'll keep giving us options to make the movement bigger and bigger, more and more vigorous. You can always stay at the more gentle level if that feels best. And again, if you need a lot more energy, a lot more pep in your step, you can come with me right away to the more vigorous level. Okay, let's make it a bigger range of motion. So one arm, up, around, and back. Other arm, up, around, and back. We can inhale as we go and exhale as we release. Choosing a comfortable range of motion, arm bent or straight. We can be moving quickly with the breath. Might be moving like we're going through quicksand, that's okay too. With a bent arm, we're stretching from a different angle. Might be a bit easier on the muscles of our shoulder, maybe elbow up around and back. So let's pick an arm, any arm. We'll do a bit more massage on it, okay? So let's reach the arm up. We're gonna pull down into the armpit. And let's keep going with that. Pull down into the armpit. Doesn't matter how high up you reach your arm, it could be much lower, could even be resting on the chair, but we're still getting into the underarm area. We can pull down the rib cage as well. We can do both hands down one side of the rib cage. And let's come into the belly. We do one hand over the other, any kind of circular massaging movement that feels good. Might even like to roll up with the heel of the hand. And then we're ready for the other side. So let's go ahead, big reach up around and back. We draw down. Drawing down. We can pull the flesh of the inside of the arm and the underarm down as we go. Let's get into the rib. We can do both hands at once. Let's come back along the belly. Massaging any direction that feels good. And we're ready to come up into our chest. So let's start with a tap, gentle or vigorous, however you like. And this might inspire some other movement. Notice I'm doing a little bit of head movement. Maybe the neck starts to loosen up. Might like to turn side to side as we go. We can do one hand over top of the other or one side at a time, stretching the neck in the opposite direction. So really free flowing, listening to our bodies here. Maybe we're doing a gentle tapping. Maybe it's much more vigorous. Okay, some people like to do one like a gorilla, one really big thump or both together. So option, if we're feeling good, go for it. Awaken your inner gorilla. Give it a couple more. And let's go for a little walk. So again, we can reset our posture. We can sit tall and let's lift one leg at a time. We go for a walk. Could be a big movement or small. Okay, here's the trick. Let's get our fists ready. We're gonna do opposite arm and leg. So might get confused and do same arm and leg. So you might be doing same arm and leg. Here's my tip. Because it's good to get cross-body activation, just leave one arm in the air. And then when you realize, okay, it's coming, opposite leg and go. And then switch sides. So that's the easiest way I've found to figure it out, is just leave one arm in the air until you're ready to go. And we can do a really vigorous punch. We can do a small movement. We have some more punching movements coming up. So always the option to do it small, keep it low, but if it feels good, go for it. One isn't really any better than the other. It's just about honoring whatever the body needs, right? Sometimes we're cold, we want a hot drink. Sometimes we're hot, we want a cold drink. And movement is no different. So we give ourselves what we need to achieve balance. Okay, let's do another 4, 3, 2, last one. We'll do a little twist here. So let's reach up, hand to opposite knee, and we'll turn and twist. We can pull the belly in. And we'll take it the other way. Big reach up. We turn and twist. We can pull the belly in with the exhale. we're working our way to our big ta-da at the end. Let's drop the shoulders. So again, we could go back to more soothing movements, sweeping up the arm, massaging under the arm, focusing on a 3-dimensional breath, or you can make it really heavy. And we can add a shake. So we can go 3, 2, 1, shake. Get a bit of a dance going first thing in the morning. Make it fun for yourself. Okay, let's do one more. Okay, our big final ta-da. So we'll start small. We're gonna pull into the armpit. We can use the elbow to give the rib cage and the underarm a real good thump. So we can be super strong about it. Of course, if this does not feel good and we want to get some stimulation going in the underarms instead, we could do that kind of tapping that we started with. We can even rest the top arm. All good. We'll be here for a little while. So yogi's choice, one or the other. If we want to make it big, we have that option. Like we're doing one arm pull-ups, really pulling in, punching in. Go about another 20 seconds, whether we're pulling in or whether we're tapping. Let's call this another 10 seconds. And let's do a cooling breath here. So we can inhale up, like we're breathing through a straw. Let's do 2 more like that. An option here to keep doing that kind of breathing, pursed lip like we are blowing through a straw with the exhale. Inhale nose, exhale through a straw. Or we can do what's called shitali, where we do hot dog tongue. Maybe you did this on the playground growing up. Roll your tongue up. And we breathe like that to cool the body. We have the option to do an inhale and then exhale through our hot dog tongue, shitali, cooling breath, or inhale and exhale through that hot dog tongue, or inhale nose, exhale mouth, pursed lip breathing. I'll alternate through all of them. Let's go for a minute here. So we're breathing in a way that feels good. Cooling, slowing the breath. Noticing the hum of energy throughout the body. So we've created quite a buzz. We might like to bring hands to heart. Feeling the buzz of energy in our palms. We can bring our awareness to the soles of our feet again, wiggling our toes. Feeling feet on the earth, grounded and supported. Pressing down with our feet, growing tall to the sky. And as we go through this cooling breath practice, let's again come back to our 3-dimensional breath. Inhaling belly, ribs, chest, noticing movement of the collarbones at the top. Practicing letting go with each exhale. Inhaling sides of the waist, sides of the ribs flaring out into our underarms. Noticing movements of the shoulder as we fill the lungs completely. Feeling our three-dimensional breath in our back, low back, mid back, upper back. Noticing movements of the shoulder blades as we fill lungs to the top. And allowing for a softening as we let the breath go. Staying here as long as we like. And when you're done, we can open the eyes. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you have a fantastic day. From my light to yours, namaste.